What up, guys? Total Control 871. Okay, we are doing our 10,000 subscriber update reply video. This was going to be a long one, so I won't do a whole bunch of preamble. I'm just going to dive right into it. Get my glasses on here. Getting old. All right. Okay, looks like I pretty much got the bulk of my questions from my favorite soft troll, Carrie Bunn. Hi, Carrie. How you doing? Carrie Bunn is probably one of my subscribers that's probably burned through a couple of accounts. Yeah, I think it's a he, likes to ask these soft troll type questions. Anyway, but like I said, ask whatever you guys want, and I'll do my best to answer. So let's dive right in. First question from Carrie is, okay, I have a question. How do you receive postal mail? I rent a mailbox. It used to be like $100 a year, and that, excuse me, that got expensive. It went up like from like $10 a year to $14-15 a year. So I have been considering looking into some cheaper alternatives, but I'll talk more about the future prognosis of this channel and everything, hopefully at the end of the video, if I don't burn up a whole bunch of time here. So that's how I get my mail. Next one, Nick Anderson. What is your opinion in the van life channels? Do they portray homelessness correctly, or are they just jumping on the cash bandwagon? I guess Nick understands that I am very critical of many of the. Well, I'm not necessarily critical of van life channels. I'm critical of the people that I've spoken of before. They're wealthy YouTubers that will exploit homeless people like myself, for clicks, for videos. They do that whole take them shopping, take them shopping at a nearby store. They might spend a couple hundred. Some might even spend a couple thousand on them, and of course, the money that they will generate in the ad revenue, additional subscribers, it far outweighs it. I'll tell you this, I would very much indeed like to see those type of videos, the altruistic homeless videos, demonetized. I would like to get in contact with Google and talk to them about demonetizing those videos. After all, if you're being so altruistic, then it shouldn't matter to you anyway, right? And ban links to stores. Oh, check out my fresh new gear. You're promoting yourself while exploiting the homeless. I don't like that. Van life. It all depends. If it is my observation, people who live in vans or alternative methods of living, they fall into one of two categories. Either they want to or they have to. There is a guy, his name is Lewis, his channel, Rolling Earthship. I used to subscribe to him, but the guy just simply got too right wing for me. Although he's probably that right wing all along, but he just began to say a lot of really fucked up things about poor people, homeless people. All you conservatives out there that subscribe to the channel, you'll probably love it. So search his name and go find him or whatnot. But it is his belief. He's a Trump supporter too. And I didn't unsubscribe to him for being a Trump supporter. It's because he believes that everybody who is poor, they are poor because they simply did not work hard enough, and that they self-sabotage themselves into that poverty. Lewis lives in a van. Lewis likes so many armchair quarterbacks that have a up and at 'em pep talk locked and loaded and always at the ready for people like me. they always make a very high wage. He does construction. I understand he's not employed year round, but that's probably, I was gonna say I don't want to speak for him, but what the fuck? Why not? He seems to have no problem speaking for us homeless people, so fuck it, I'll speak for him. He probably likes it that way, being, a few months on, a few months off. Gives him time to wander the U.S. and drive around. But the point is that Lewis is, I'm not saying that he's wealthy or, he's not Bill Gates or anybody, but this is a man where, should something become necessary to, say, repair on his van, he might bitch and moan about having to spend the money, but he's got the money to spend. A guy like me, you have to pick and choose very carefully. What can be repaired and what can wait? Remember our knockoff brand GoPro housing? Well, now we know why it only cost a fraction. It cracked. Back to using an elastomer. We all make choices. Hold on a second, cut my light off here. Yeah. We all make pick and choose our choices as to, you know. I'm trying to say I understand nobody's rich, although some YouTubers are rich, but when Lewis, Rolling Earth ship, has to do a repair, he might bitch and moan about having to do the repair or spend the money. He takes a great deal for granted. He takes his knowledge for granted. I could do a whole video on how knowledge is true wealth. Precious metals and things like that back up our currency. That's questionable wealth, open to manipulation. But he's carpenter. I believe I'm pretty sure he's born Jewish and converted to Christianity. I'm assuming again, but why not? If he can assume things about me or my demographic anyway, then he opens himself up to assumptions. Anyway, so, when he swipes his card at the Home Depot, True Value, whatever the case may be, he never has to worry about, is there enough money there to pay for everything. I've been putting off the Black Riders smaller repairs until this time of the year, where you guys know I'll do the annual maintenance. See if I can get it all done at once, rather than pay for, multiple labor fees. Yeah, I need to scrape together about $400, maybe even $500 to the bike shop next week, and it's going to be dollar noodles and dollar pizza for a while, getting through the month of March and April. It's going to be very tight. Anyway, so what do I think about these people? If they are actually homeless, then you're homeless. The definition of homelessness is, like I said before, either you can afford a place to live, a traditional place to live, or you can't. If you're happy living in a van, if that's your preferred method, Lewis, he makes enough money, he could have a home. He talks about it on his channel, how he gave up his home. I think he said the bank took it. He may have been one of the mortgage meltdown victims. Maybe yes, maybe no. but he doesn't have a home, so he lives there, cheaper, probably saving up money. Anyway, so that's basically it for the whole van thing. Either you can afford to live in a traditional home or you can't. Um, are they actually homeless? Do they correctly portray homelessness? Um, what is the correct portrayal of homelessness? Um, Not all homeless people are Anton Jackson, our In Living Color parody um, of the hobo crawling out of a box. There are homeless people whose accommodations are better than mine. My accommodations are better than other people's who are homeless. It's all about what you can afford, how you can afford to live. So you do the best you can. All right, let me hold on a second here. Oh shit! Fuck! Oh damn! Oh no! Oh no, Mr. Bill! Oh shit! Oh no! Is this still going? Hold on. Let me see. Is this the right way up? Or did I flip the flopped? Ugh. It is still going. Oh my god. Alright. Sorry. Carrie. I'm not on private land. Next question. Let's see. Carrie again says, how do you go to the bathroom? And what do you do with it? What do I do with it? Well, it is filled with plastic bags and toilet paper. As for what I do with it, it ends up in the same place as middle class people's babies' diapers and your pets. When you curb your pet and you put your pet's poop in plastic bags, okay? So it ends up in the same place as you middle class home dwelling people's baby poop and pet poop. Okay? Okay. Like I say, you think you're slick with your soft troll questions. I know what you're trying to imply. Here's another question again from Carrie. The rest of them, they're all just from Carrie. Here is another question. I hope it's not too personal. Do you have a boyfriend? If you don't, do you wish you had one? No, I don't have a boyfriend. No, I don't have a boyfriend. Do I wish I had one? That question right there is what kept me on this bed for, I don't know, a couple of hours sitting and thinking. That is very much indeed a loaded question. I am 20 years celibate. I understand many people would have certain connotations about such a statement. These kinds of connotations probably emanate from your own I don't know how to say it. I did have a buddy, a bus driver buddy. Wasn't that kind of buddy. Actually, our synthetic friendship came to an abrupt halt. The long and short of it, he was trying to prod me toward getting a boyfriend. Like I said, there's a backstory to it, and he just picked a really lousy time. I had just moved into the woods, because I was telling him that I had gotten the gym membership, and he was like, all right, well, yeah, you use the gym, and, basically trying to tell me, lose weight, get sexy, get a boyfriend. Basically, that was the gist of it. And my basic gist of my reply was, um, my life is in a horrific free fall right now of poverty, persecution by various police departments. At the time, Jewish Family Services persecution was going on. Um, I was not looking for any type of romantic um, relationship. I guess I'd be lying if I said that didn't I'd be lying if I said I didn't wish I was in a position to have a romantic relationship. And where I was going with that whole 20-year celibate thing, uh, many of you out there, see, I'm trying not to sound superior, if that's the right word. Celibacy? I'm not going to say it's a cakewalk, but it's not as difficult as, put it like this, I don't understand what the fuck the priests are bitching about. It's not that bad. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound like I'm above it all or whatnot, but it just simply isn't that bad. Um, is it voluntary or involuntary? What was it, that incel group, involuntarily celibate group? Um, Again, that's a weirdly loaded question. I would like to be in a position where I could have a love life. Um, but I am not, and I am not willing to put myself into. Let me see. If this wasn't weird already, it's about to get even more weird. Lord rest her soul. Had a cousin Bernice. For my family members out there, they know who I'm talking about. She was a piece of work, all right. Cousin Bernice. She gave me a piece of advice. What time have I got here? 17. Oh, the time goes by so quickly. She gave me a piece of advice one time. She told me in her voice, what her voice. I'm hearing her voice. She was very, very Southern honey child. You know, she was like, honey, you don't never let nobody tie you up. Don't even fucking ask me how the conversation was on S&M. We had been drinking. Anyway, although it does kind of strike me as odd that she felt the need to give me advice, because I don't think that the topic wasn't on S&M. Just this unsolicited advice just seemed to come out of her. Anyway, she was basically saying, never let anybody have that kind of control over you. Um, I would say it's good advice. And but she was speaking in physical terms about how a person who might not have malevolent intentions when entering into the sex game, but once they see you so vulnerable, completely bound, she was telling me some people will just fucking flip, and they'll just start to fuck you up, safe word be damned. Um, Anyway, in case I know I got family out there, no, when she was telling me this didn't come from. I just, how can I say? I don't think she was victim of it. She had, on my father's side of the family, we have uncanny powers of perception. Uh, I'll just have to leave it at that. She's very uncanny powers of perception. She can read you. Anyway, um, that all went wrong. But anyway, so kind of like that, but because she was speaking about something that is physical, being physically restrained, in a relationship, like love, like being in love with somebody, or being in a marriage, and theoretically, one would think that if you're in a marriage, you are in love with the person. Um, how vulnerable you are. You hold your mate's heart in the hovel of your hand, you know. You can annihilate them. I would never ever allow myself to be, I don't know if it's correct to say in that position or back in that position. Um, as far as love goes, I've been in love all by myself. There's a whole long, sad story to it, but uh, I don't ever want to be there ever again. Um, was it Miki Howard? She sings that song, "Love Under New Management." Close sign on the door, had to tear it down. Yeah. The door, the building, the structure, it's all been bulldozered and the debris hauled away, okay? Yeah, there is no chance of there being a grand reopening. Um, Fukushima will be inhabitable before my heart will be opened up to a person in that capacity ever again. Um, let's see, what time have I got? 21. Hold on. All right, yeah, I think that just about does it. Will I ever do an accent again? She says, Carrie says, will I ever do an Irish accent again on this channel? Hey, hush and be gone with you now. So that's it. That's it for our Q&A and our update. All right. I want to talk about the prognosis of this channel, where it's all going, what's going to happen. My newer subscribers, I am a vehicular cyclist. My name is Amir Bathi. I probably should have said that earlier. Sorry. My name is Amir Bathi. My name is a contraction of two words, a mirage, a mirror. A mirage is something very different than an illusion. An illusion requires a magician to manipulate your senses to make you see and think things that are not true. A mirage is something that you yourself most desperately want to see. If you are seeing something that is not true or real, then you have nobody but yourself to blame for that. That is why my name is Amir. People throughout my entire life have just always seen what they wanted to see rather than who and what I actually am. I am a vehicular cyclist. I have executed what could be called societal abandonment. Traditional living, traditional transportation has become crushingly unaffordable. So living in this tent and riding that bicycle are my means of sustaining myself in life. My driver's license has been unlawfully suspended. The police in this area, multiple police departments, have written multiple unlawful police or traffic tickets, should I say. I have fought every one that I could in court. Most of them I have lost because the law refuses to acknowledge what the law has to say, even going so far as to deny me the right to read the charge aloud in court and to read the language of the law in court. So I'm sure the trolls will say, you lost because you were wrong. How can you say that I was wrong when you wouldn't even allow me to read the language of the law in court? Vehicular cycling threatens big auto. They are terrified that the populace will break free from the spell that they've worked very long and hard to cast over the population, into hypno-mind fucking them into thinking that you must have this internal combustion engine. You must have a motor. Even if it's an electric car, you must have this thing to facilitate your basic day-to-day life, when in fact it just simply isn't true. I dwell here in the South Jersey area, Atlantic County. I will sometimes get compliments from viewers who will see me on the street complimenting me about all the miles I log every day. Thank you for the compliment, but the reality is that these cities that you see me in, whether it's, Northfield, Pleasantville, Galloway, Mays Landing, Egg Harbor Township, or even out in Brigantine or Ocean City, all of these cities are just bumped up right next to each other. It's just a cluster of them. Thank you for the compliment, but it really isn't that difficult at all. It's just not that difficult. Unfortunately, even those of you who are a fraction of my weight, that's just how bad your body has been conditioned into depending on cars. You really can get, I understand, your longer range commutes, you might want to use a vehicle. So I'm not anti-car, I'm not anti-fossil fuel. I'm just simply trying to tell you that 80% of your trips, they're under 4 miles and easily done with a bicycle. So how have I got here? 26. All right. Because I refuse to pay the unlawful tickets, it is just a matter of time until they will issue an arrest warrant. I want to show you something real quick. This guy is one of my new YouTube people that I subscribe to. It's BEAU of the Fifth Column. This particular episode, he says, let's talk about the unlisted penalty behind every law. I'm going, excuse me, I'm going to link that episode down below. Literally in under 5 minutes, BEAU maps out exactly how my life is going to come to an end at the hand of police tyranny. I will not pay a fine that I do not owe. I am not guilty. Payment plans are for the guilty. I am not guilty. Were our civil rights activists to continue to pay indefinitely, we would not have the civil rights that we enjoy today. I believe it was 1920, women got their right to vote, but of course only because when they stopped paying the fines, or did they ever pay the fines, and they went through their hell in jail. I refuse abduction, and I have indeed elected suicide rather than be abducted and sexually assaulted in a jail. There is another, it's like a half-hour episode about how movies, entertainment has made a complete mockery of male sexual assault. They talking briefly about the Me Too movement, how like one of the movies it referenced was that Kevin Hart movie Get Hard. The entire movie is all about being raped in jail, and it's a comedy. And of course, I don't know, why don't you ask Dr. Blasey Ford about how funny she thinks rape is, and should it be a subject of rape? I'm running out of time here, but I'll see what I can do to link below. My prognosis is not a happy one. If the police descend and move upon me to arrest me, I will do everything I can to fight them, including violence, which will most likely culminate in a hail of bullets where I will be shot and killed. I choose death rather than abduction and sexual assault. That's what I choose. So for those of you who may have found your way to this channel from the McDonald video, welcome. Some of the police videos, welcome. Have I got enough time? How about, yeah, I got 29. I know my last video, police arresting some dude. Some of you guys from my older police videos, you might be thinking I am a First Amendment auditor. I am not a First Amendment auditor. If police descend upon me, I record them. Police have to act upon me first. If I stumble upon, like I did there at Walmart, I just happened to stumble upon an incident in progress. But no, I don't have police scanners. I don't chase police. Oftentimes I hear it on the channel, you're just looking to bait police. I am not looking to bait police. I really don't look to have an interaction with them at all. So I'm not a First Amendment auditor. However, I do appreciate the work of the First Amendment auditors. I'm getting close here. I do appreciate the work, like Tom Zebra. Big shout out to Tom Zebra. There is a need for you guys holding police accountable. So there you go. Hopefully I addressed everything. I'll save it for a separate video. Alright guys, that's about it. Nobody ever asked all the questions in the correct video, but just ask down below if there's anything else you want to know. Total Control 871.